Hi, giraffes. This book is called Where Do Insects Live? It was written by a lady named Susan Canizares, and I believe that the photographs for this book were taken by a lady named Mary Reed. This book has photographs of actual insects in it. And of course, if we were sitting together in group time, I would say, please raise your hand if you can tell me about an insect. And someone might raise a hand and say, oh, an insect is a bug. Or someone might say, a bumblebee is an insect. And I would say, yes, you're right, both of those answers. An insect is a bug, but not all bugs can be insects. Insects have to have 6 legs to be an insect. So every bug in this book is an insect. I'm going to read you the book, and then at the very end it has some extra information about each picture in the book. You're going to recognize some of these insects, by the way. Where do insects live? Where do insects live? In the grass, on a tree, on a leaf, on a rock, in the sand, on the water, on a log, in a hole, in a nest, in the air. Insects live everywhere. Now that was a short book. Let's go back to the very first picture. The very first insect is called a weaver ant. And I'm going to read you a little bit about what the book tells me in the back. The weaver ant in this picture is standing in the opening of the nest that has been built out of leaves. The grown-up ants work together to sew the nest out of delicate silk that comes from the larvae. And the larvae are it's like the children of the ants. They don't look like the grown-up ants yet. And they make silk. And the grown-ups use the silk to make their nest. Now the next one, I bet you know this one, is the grasshopper. The grasshopper lives in grass or fields that often have the same color as itself. It counts on being able to jump to escape from enemies, and it can leap up to 20 times its body length. Now this next one is called a tree hopper. The tree hopper lives in trees or on twigs where it looks just like a thorn. It eats the sap of the plant. It does look like a thorn. The next one is called a shield bug. The shield bug is one of a large family of bugs that eats plants and can make a very bad smell. It can be a pest for farmers. Now, if you're a pest, that means that you bother someone. So I guess the very bad smell of the shield bug bothers the farmers and bothers the plants that the farmers have planted. So they are pests. Okay, this next one, I believe, is the rock grasshopper. Hang on just a second. All right, this one. This one is called the Jerusalem cricket. There are many different types of crickets, but this one is called the Jerusalem cricket, and it lives under rocks and it makes a scratchy noise. Now this insect is called the water strider. You can see it living on top of the water. The water strider has a fan of tiny hairs at the tips of its legs that act like snowshoes, letting it skate along the surface of the water to find food. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty fascinating. The water strider. Now in this picture, on this log, these are carpenter ants, and they drill deep into wood to make a nest and to lay their eggs. Because that is how all insects make more insects and have babies. It's by laying eggs. Now if you notice, these eggs don't look like eggs that come from a bird. These are insect eggs, carpenter ant eggs. They don't eat the wood like termites do, but still can cause a great deal of damage. And on this page, you see pictures of ant burrows. Ant burrows. I bet you've seen these before, maybe in the grass of your yard. The ant burrows are the doorways to large underground communities of ants. Each ant has a special job to do in these groups. Do you remember how we talked about the secret underground kingdom where so many animals live? Where ants are one of those. Now in this picture, we're back to the first type of insect, the weaver ant. And this is just a close-up picture of the weaver ants working together. Remember, they sew the leaves into their shelters, their nest. One group holds the edges of the leaf in place while the others make sure it's secure and tight. That is amazing. They're working together. Now I know you know what this animal is called. Of course, this is a butterfly, and it is called a monarch butterfly, and it lives in the air, and it flies 2,000 miles every year from Canada to Mexico and back. It often comes to the same resting places along the way. So this butterfly lives mostly in the air, a big traveler. I hope you enjoyed this book called Where Do Insects Live? And if you're interested in insects, and I know I am, you could get your parents to let you use an iPad or a tablet or their phone and look up some more information because there's so much to know about insects. We wish you well, we wish you well, all through the day today we wish you well. Goodbye, giraffes.